the Armed Forces provides amazing training.
I think about veterans as people who have already figured out how to serve.
My military skills have been essential.
Hiring veterans is a great business case. They're the best employees we have. They're flexible, hardworking, and they're used to a global workplace.
If that isn't an asset to any company, I don't know what is.
Hiring America, the award-winning television job fair for American veterans. Connecting you with companies who know your value. Learn about employers who are actively hiring today and organizations that support veterans. Your future success starts right here on Hiring America. Hiring America is produced in cooperation with the VFW. No one does more for veterans.
Welcome to Hiring America, the television series that helps military veterans find jobs and transition into meaningful careers. I'm Lauren Wanko at Marsh McLennan Companies in Midtown Manhattan. We will be talking with companies that are hiring and with veterans like you who've made successful transitions into the civilian workforce. We'll tell you who's hiring and give you information to get you the job you deserve. We'll also help connect you to job openings. Log on to our website, hiringamerica.net, for more information, and follow us on our Facebook page and Twitter.
I think biggest hurdle I've encountered was translation of my skills, and I think many veterans can relate to the frustration I felt back then. I mean, how do you explain your day-to-day experience in the military into a corporate lingo? That was my biggest hurdle.
In 2013, Marsh McLennan, a global professional services firm, announced the U.S. Veterans Talent Initiative to manage the firm's U.S. veteran recruitment strategy, matching highly qualified veteran talent to job openings within the company. Joining us now is Eddie Dunn, the Director of Military and Veteran Affairs. Eddie, welcome to Hiring America.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Marsh McLennan Companies has a U.S. Veteran Talent Initiative. What does that involve?
It involves all the operating companies coming together and looking at the veteran talent as a viable talent to bring into our organization. We talk about this right thing to do, smart thing to do. Right thing to do relevant to honoring their service with meaningful employment. And the second piece is the smart thing to do and the ability for us to hire them because of what they bring to the table.
The company benefits.
Absolutely, there's no question about that. But I think there's something bigger going on here because a lot of times we get asked, well, why veterans? And I think because we talk about the value of veterans in the context of what they bring to our civilian counterpart, but they've served honorably. They've come to a place in time in their life where they took the time to write that blank check to our country and said, I'll serve ultimately if I have to and sacrifice my life if I need to. A lot of them come in for different reasons, but a lot of them come in for all the right reasons based on what they're going to gain for themselves along their career. I think we can do no better. When we think about our nation's veterans, our ability to transform and translate and elevate their value on a national basis, I think is the right thing to do. When you begin to think about how their value has been really impactful to our organization at Marsh McLennan Companies and across the nation, we can do no less.
Tell us some of the range of job possibilities here.
There are terrific opportunities here at Marsh McLennan Companies. We try to make the best fits, and that's a term we use in talent acquisition. We have terrific roles in our IT areas, project management roles, sales roles, HR roles, operational roles, project management, and the list goes on. There's some great fits there for sure.
What are some of the challenges that military veterans face when trying to transition into the civilian workforce?
I think it's complex on a number of different levels, but it was really around the idea of the veteran talent learning how to transfer and translate their skills, attributes, and talents into these corporate roles. It's not an easy thing to do because, one, we speak different languages. The military speaks a different language, the civilian side speaks a different language. And when we get those two together, they have to figure out, there's that dialogue, that transition, that translation that goes on. It's sometimes more of an art than a science.
You spent 20 years in the U.S. Army. Tell us a little bit about that time.
Yes, spent my first 3 years active duty, 82nd Airborne. I was a logistician, paratrooper. And then I went on to become a parachute rigger later on in my career. I'd gotten off active duty, went into the Army Reserves, and then I became a parachute rigger, became a jump master, and then I held the position of Army First Sergeant and retired very happily in 2008.
What challenges did you face when entering the civilian workforce?
For myself personally and professionally, it was a question of being able to translate those skills, right? What can I possibly do? And it started from the training environment I was in. I was a non-commissioned officer. I had those key attributes. I was given an opportunity by those who saw that value and gave me that opportunity, starting at the very bottom and working my way up, proving myself just like anybody else, right? I wasn't underqualified or overqualified, but I was the right person for the job, right place, right time. And over time, I was able to morph that into my human resources career. I was a hardcore paratrooper, jump master. I did all that crazy stuff. How did I become this warm, lovable HR guy, right, that's been doing this job for quite a number of years, longer than I care to admit? But this is really super important for us. This initiative is in a place where I think that with the right amount of executive leadership, Dan Glazer, our CEO from Marsh McLennan Companies, Peter Bashar, Julio Portalatin, Lori Ledford, the entire talent acquisition team, all of our hiring managers, everybody's behind this initiative. Super passionate about hiring veterans because we see the value of what they bring to the table.
You launched something called the 100,000 Jobs Mission. What is it?
Yeah. Back a while ago, we started off with 13 original companies, and what it is a private sector initiative bringing together all the huge corporations in the private sector and focusing in on the military talent. It was an alliance and a coalition of all these huge companies coming together and saying, we're going to hire veterans. And we said, we're going to hire 100,000 veterans by 2020. The whole core value of the 100,000 Jobs Mission was built around the three ideas. One, sharing knowledge between these corporations. Two, sharing best practices. And three, sharing talent. And that has blossomed and grown because when we share knowledge, when we share the ability to share leading practices and our ability to share talent, it begins to build on itself and success begets success. The coalition right now has grown over 200 since I left the program, and I think we're close to 300,000 hires at this point. So it's exploded. It's been a wonderful experience, far exceeded all of our expectations when we started.
What advice would you give to military vets who are watching, interested in a job here at Marsh McLennan Companies?
One, you have to be prepared. Two, you have to do your homework. Three, you have to learn how to translate those skills because honestly, I put the onus and responsibility of the veteran to be able to translate and transfer their skills. They have to learn that 30-second speech. They have to have a resume that is akin and aligned to the job description. They have to learn how to network well. They have to learn how to get in there and understand and help the recruiter, help the hiring manager understand what they bring to the table transfers into that role.
For military veterans interested in a job here at Marsh McLennan Companies, where can they go for more information?
We have 4 operating primary companies that you can apply to a job at. We're a global professional services firm, and each of our operating companies operates differently. So you can certainly go to the Mercer's employment website, you can go to Marsh, you can go to Guy Carpenter, and you can go to Oliver Wyman specifically to apply to their roles.
Eddie, thanks for joining us here on Hiring America.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We'll be back with more of Hiring America in a moment.
Continue the conversation on our Facebook page and Twitter, and visit our website at hiringamerica.net. Submit a video with advice to help transitioning veterans entering the civilian workforce.
Research the companies that you're going to apply for. Go in and learn what their mission statement is and what their upcoming projects are so that you know where the company's headed before you go into interview. Apply for jobs, about 5 per day if you can, maybe a little less, but go in there and have an active system where you're applying consistently.
Go to hiringamerica.net/contest and you could win a Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Yoga.
A lot of people look at you as a liability when you're a veteran because a lot of veterans claim disabilities, mental problems. I served in Afghanistan from 2010 to 2011 in Kandahar province. When I came home, I attempted to transition back into a normal lifestyle, but it proved extremely difficult because I had began to realize that I experienced things in life that other people had not, and it was extremely hard to fit in anywhere. Mr. Doyle has taken in myself and several other veterans, and he's helped us to the point where I don't know where any of us would be without him.
Rags of Honor is a top-quality screen printing organization that has the mission of providing employment and services to homeless veterans. The proceeds go directly to employ the veterans who are producing the garments at the Rags of Honor facility. Joining us is Mark Doyle, the founder of Rags of Honor. Mark, great to see you again.
Thank you so much. I love you guys.
What would you say to people who want to help homeless vets and other members of the military community?
First of all, look in your community. If there's a VFW, go down there and volunteer, see if they need help. Call the local VA. There are all kinds of programs. And I would say also, since it's a pitch, go to ragsofhonor.us. And what I've tried to do with Rags of Honor is create a national platform. You want to help a veteran, and you're running your family and your business, and you want to do the right thing, come to ragsofhonor.us. Buy one of our branded lines, give us a custom order, you just help the vet. So you can do it so many different ways. And what I always say to people, you can't change the whole world, but just change the world around you. Find one veteran, find one group in your town that needs some help, and just go do it.
What's the company up to now?
Since we last spoke, I have been blessed with a new partner. Partner is AAR Corporation. They are an aerospace company located in Chicago. Heard about our mission, and David Storch, the CEO, one of the most amazing guys I have ever met, on the spot said, how do we build this company? And I said, we need a bigger place, and we just need more infrastructure. And so we just moved into 10,000 square feet, bought a brand new $150,000 machine, hired 3 more vets, and picked up one of the largest licensees in all of professional sports. We're doing work for the Chicago Blackhawks now.
That's gotta feel fantastic.
It is great to see the mission really start to take root. As when we first talked, we were making progress, right, and it was still a burgeoning idea, but we have really hit our stride, and people around the country are emailing us, sharing our story.
It's clear to understand how this motivates you, but how does this motivate your employees?
The day we went from our old facility, and I brought them in, and we hadn't even finished it yet. I mean, we had some work to do. Brought all 10 of them at that point. We had 10 full-time, we have 13 now. And when we walked in, they all erupted in applause. And just on cue, I mean, because for them, what it signaled to me is that they saw that the mission that they were part of was really going in a direction that was filled with growth and potential, and they were running around the place like kids looking at all the rooms. And I've seen a change, not that they weren't dedicated before, but when they see what we are doing to make this place better and what our partners are doing, these folks come 20 minutes early, they stay 20 minutes late, they're coming in on Saturdays to help us paint the place and lay down carpet. Really amazing to watch these folks embrace this mission.
Does it make you feel like a proud father?
It does. It's funny you should say that. They are like my kids, and it's one of the things that there have been some nights, as we talked about, where I'm early on and you're worried about making payroll. And these are my children now. Like if something happens to Rags, they're going to be in trouble. So they really have become like my children.
Where can we find your products?
ragsofhonor.us.
Mark, thanks for joining us here on Hiring America.
Thanks again. I love you guys so much. You're the best.
This Military Minute is brought to you by the Veterans of Foreign Wars. The VFW has a place for you.
There's a word we hear a lot these days, but somehow it's lost its meaning. Heroes. But who are the real heroes? I've known heroes, real heroes, men and women whose sacrifice served a nation. When the guns are silenced and the battlefields grow quiet, they're still fighting. But without our support, it's a war they'll never win. They need our help. The kind of help America's veterans get from the VFW. Help with their VA benefits claims, with school and jobs, help accessing complex medical care, and making ends meet. The VFW is there for them. Will you be there for them too?
Hiring America will be back in a moment.
As I look out and see the thousands of people here to honor our veterans, to honor those who sacrificed their lives for this country, and how many people want to do that, this is a great day for America. A great day.
Last December, the trucking industry came together to contribute their time and resources to honor our fallen heroes on National Wreaths Across America Day, transporting over 900,000 wreaths to veteran cemeteries in all 50 states. Hiring America had the privilege to spend the day at Arlington National Cemetery and saw firsthand the importance of making sure that no hero is ever forgotten.
Coming in today to the cemetery and seeing the crowds, we were a little bit overwhelmed.
Across the whole country, in all 50 states and overseas, it's over 1,100 cemeteries doing the same thing that we're doing right here now.
Carl made his first trip to a cemetery when he was 12 years old, and it really impacted him. And years later, he found himself in a position to give back.
This is my 24th trip here. And 24 years ago, there were only 12 of us that were involved in the wreath laying that day. And now you can see what there is today.
This is the first time we've seen it this crowded, this busy, so early on. And I think that we will be meeting our goal of 60 plus.
Somebody estimated maybe 60, 70,000 people are here today. That's 60 or 70,000 patriots are here. They do it because they want to be here. They chose to be here. I think it's a testament to people's patriotism.
The trucks, by the way, these are volunteer trucking companies, volunteer drivers, and you know, the trucking industry has made it really possible for us to do this because the cost to ship these wreaths to 1,100 locations would be insurmountable. And the other thing I want to say about the trucking industry is that they're always looking to hire veterans in their Hire for Hero program, and that's a great opportunity for them.
Raise that!
What I would ask of you today is to remember, we're not here to decorate graves. We're here so you can take the opportunity to reintroduce yourselves and to introduce your children to the men and women here, and remember not their deaths, but their lives.
The U.S. trucking industry has committed to hiring 100,000 veterans in the next 2 years. Military experience, regardless of MOS, is highly valued. One of the leading employers of veterans in the trucking industry is J.B. Hunt.
My name's Rick Santowski, and I was a submarine officer for 20 years. Peacetime Navy, we fought in the Cold War. I've been with J.B. Hunt for 20 years. The military is a good fit for both the person looking for a job and for the trucking industry. So much of life on the road is similar to what you experience in the military. When I was in the military, I was often on the road, changing stations or going from one place to another. Trucking needs mature people who are mission-oriented, who understand dealing with government rules and regulations and obeying them and still getting the job done. People who are capable of working on their own without anybody watching on their shoulder, because in a truck it's just you and the truck. It's like the best of both worlds. In a way you're your own boss, and in a way you don't have the worries of running your own company. Working at J.B. Hunt is good because you know you're working for people that have your trust. If they didn't trust you, you wouldn't have this expensive machine under your command at all times. You've got independence, and at the same time you've got full support.
Check out these companies and organizations actively seeking veterans. Hiring America will be back in a moment.
Thanks for watching. The information we've just shared is all on our website, hiringamerica.net. Log on and find out about more companies who are hiring veterans. Post comments on our Facebook page or send us suggestions that can help us help you. That's all for this episode of Hiring America. I'm Lauren Walko in New York. Thanks for joining us.
Hiring America is produced in cooperation with the VFW. No one does more for veterans. Promotional consideration provided by JetBlue, a proud employer of those who've served. This program made possible by the generous support of the following companies: